One win. One win, please, DSG.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCS, where Disguised are one game away from elimination until Spring Split if they can't lock it in here. Game number 1, they had control for a while, but then after TL took control, they never really got it back. Game number 2 felt like Disguised just was not able to keep up with TL at all. Final time on the clock was, what, like 24 minutes when the Nexus exploded? It was TL dominance.
I mean, it is hard to end a game that fast these days. Like, it's just very, very rare for games to be that quick. So definitely a couple stomps by TL. They are looking really, really good. Now the question is, can these rookies over on the DSG side, like, can they stabilize, calm down, be able to reset yourself mentally, and try to have what it takes to come back? Because you would need to reverse sweep a team that has tremendous amounts of experience in these situations when you have very little yourselves.
Yeah, and the big difference maker to me has been every time DSG kind of makes a mistake, it just seems like the TL punish is that much harsher, as opposed to when we did see DSG get a lead trying to play with it, we then had Sajed kind of moving a little bit too far up in the mid lane in that first game. And we'll see how they can stabilize. I think the thing I'm looking from them is we talked about how potentially creative this team can be, especially with, I think, Kryra in the jungle. He has a few pocket picks that we've talked about that he could potentially bring out. And then we know Castle is very willing to play a wide variety of champions. But honestly, the big thing for me has just been, even when they did get that bot 2v2, since in the LCS we have been so 2v2 bot lane focused, it's really been Yawn winning out as the better AD carry in both of these games.
I mean, TL has been looking good, and I feel like it hasn't as much to me been about individual differences as it has been about team coordination, though. You know, when I think about a lot of these team fights where it's like, okay, the wheels just fell off, it is DSG split up completely. It is DSG with like 3 different plans, and it is TL with 1 plan, right? And it is, you know, 4 or 5 TL members walking together. Well, one guy from DSG is over here, some guy's clearing vision, someone's looking to run, someone's looking to engage, someone wants to go bot lane.
Yeah.
And it just feels like they're struggling to get on the same page. And if you go up against a team that is very decisive with a lot of engage tools, and you are having that kind of game, you're just not gonna have a chance.
All right, we're into draft for game number 3. Let's see what Disguised has cooking. The C9 fans are eating good so far this split, I think. As once more, we've got the same draft setup that we did in game number 2, where Disguised have elected for last pick. Team Liquid has elected for the blue side. That means the draft makes sense based on how we normally imagine it to be. There's no shenanigans going on. We will have the Varus, the Jarvan, and the Akali banned out by Team Liquid. Meanwhile, Victor, Renekton, and Nocturne banned out by DSG.
And 2 big champions I'm immediately noticing are both in the mid lane, with Azir and Orianna both up to be able to trade for either team. Definitely, I think, why we see that Nocturne ban coming out. So if TL do want to first pick that Orianna for Quid, they won't then have to deal with the Nocturne Orianna combination. But we see the Pantheon is actually going to be coming out for Jose Deodo.
I mean, it is kind of funny because these days, basically, like mid-jungle, I was talking about this on the dive, but there's either 1 or 0 for each role, depending on the role, AP or AD champions in those roles. So essentially, Yone is the only champion in the top 20 pro picks in mid lane.
Yeah.
And if you want to count like Sejuani or whatever for jungle, there's like champions like that. But basically, you have to go down to Diana for someone who's like actually stacking AP. So really, every game essentially becomes you're just tier list drafting the AD junglers and the AP control mages, and like, that is kind of where we are at right now in Pro League of Legends. And as you can see, Xin is gone, Vi is gone, Trundle is gone, Wukong is gone, Jarvan is banned, Nocturne is banned. All right, well, now it's time to go down to Pantheon, and maybe, you know, if you want to splash in like a Zehen or like a whatever, you know, like it's really what League of Legends is right now. And this is probably going to be an Aatrox jungle, could also be top, of course, but that is another one of those, if you're just kind of tier listing down, all the ones that haven't already been banned out.
All right, Team Liquid, what are we going to cook up? I also am just going to put a tiny little asterisk. I know that Enchanters are back and everything, but Core JJ has historically been one of our supports who will play a Pantheon support. So I'm going to say there's always a possibility it's a flex.
That is
Tiny
I've seen
possibility.
Kangas play some Pantheon support, and if I'm going to be judging it off of that, it's looking pretty weak right now. It
feel
needs some
like
buffs.
There might be a slight difference between
not
Core
judge
JJ
it off of
and
Kangas'
Kangas.
Pantheon
That's not
support.
fair.
Please.
Sorry, Kangas, if you're watching from home.
No, we love you. As expected, though, we see the Azir coming out of Quid. Azir is a monster to me just because he fits in so many compositions. If you're ever wondering, is Azir ever going to fall out of pro play? The answer is pretty much no, unless they absolutely gut him and make him unavailable for solo queue as well. And we see the Gnar hover.
Locked it straight
Yeah.
away. Okay.
Now, this is where I would love, if you can actually swap that Aatrox to jungle, if Kara was comfortable playing it, then Castle could try to go for something a little bit more spicy in the top lane. You could try to look for some counter picks.
Yep.
Like Ignite Kennen is what immediately came to mind for me. Jace is another good one. There are some different matchups you can go, but I feel like, hey, you just got stomped in 2 games. Counter pick for your lane, play a combat summoner, see if you can blow the game open. It is going to be Jax, which I think is fine. I don't really see this as a lane counter, but it is something that outscales and definitely has potential to put.
Why are we always talking about scaling for our team? Instead of waiting,
with, right?
like
So
waiting to win later, why don't we just win now?
What he's comfortable with. And they
Have we
end
considered
up
winning now?
with the Jax, so we'll see how he'll be able to pilot that. I do think, as the sung hero of DSG
Tales
thus
are
far,
written about him.
Exactly, some tales. The big thing, difference maker that has been in team fights when he is able to find kind of these really interesting flanks. We've seen him do well on the Jax. I still remember that Aurora triple kill he had in Topside River during their last outing. So we'll see how he can contribute here. Once again, Ashe taken off the table. DSG do not want to go up against that Ashe Seraphine lane, and Ezreal removed for TL.
I think we're kind of now into the territory of you're either going Jhin and playing supportive, or you're going hyper carry and doing like Aphelios, Lulu, you know, Jinx, those kind of things. So that's kind of, I think, where we're at in the AD carry.
Do not fear, Team Liquid will
also
lose
Sivir
this
as
one.
far
I
as,
paid
you
an
know, those hyper
Etsy
carries
witch.
are
Do not
concerned.
fear. Thank you so
I'm
much
really
for your
interested to see how
sacrifice.
wants to continue squeezing that pool and where they will go.
I will believe in any kind of religion if this ends up if we end up winning.
That AD carry with the powerful self-peel, right? That defensive ultimate that can save her from the Aatrox and the Jax when they try to dogpile in. Right now, I'm also looking at Disguised Comp, and I'm not seeing a whole ton of engage. I feel like the remaining picks, obviously one of them has to be a marksman, so the support, I think you're going to need some stronger engage potential if you really want to be able to make plays against Team Liquid.
Yeah, and as we see this Smolder hover coming out of Sajed, another really interesting thing is that Karma is now off the ban list if they want to go some sort of Enchanter pushing lane, and Lulu is available. Again, we've been so heavily bot lane focused, and that's going to continue here with the Lucian locked in for Sajed, and my assumption is going to be, based on what TL pick, they're going to adjust their Enchanter on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can do Enchanter. Obviously, Nami was already played earlier because of that pairing, but so you could do things, common pairings like Melio, like Braum are good. But I kind of agree with Flowers that they're pretty light on engage, so maybe you just kind of like slam down the Alistar and you still, you know, do something like that, even if it is a weaker lane, just to try to enable their engage. And I think on the other side, we probably are going to get like Aphelios Lulu or something along those lines. Aphelios Melio would also be cool because it could be a denial pick from the other side. So this is kind of where we are at with the picks that are up and available. The engage is not going to be great on the CL side either. It's like a flash stun from a Pantheon or a flank from a Gnar. You know, Azir obviously does have the potential to start fights up too. So both teams will be a little bit light on engage, but generally when that happens, range kind of becomes king, right? It's who can poke and prod and force the other team to do something, force them to react. And right now, based on what we're seeing, I feel like that is more in TL's favor.
Yeah, especially with the Azir and then the Aphelios Lulu coming out of this bot lane. It does make it so much more dangerous if they do feel like they need engage and want to pick that Alistar. That's going to be a really, really rough initial lane, but no, they're actually going the Rel in as their engager.
I mean, Rel, you can pop Lulu shields. That's always kind of nice. You do have some good AoE engage. I really felt like their comp needed it, especially if you're going to be playing alongside Orianna. Sure, the Jax could try to get it in there, but Rel is a way more effective ball delivery system in most cases. So I do think, You know, did they get much out of this like 5th pick counter pick? No. I think you could have been blinding the rel and you would have kind of ended up in a similar situation. Excuse me as I stumble over my words. But I think that they had to kind of do it for their composition.
And I feel like this also goes hand in hand with what we were talking about, how Disguised doesn't seem like they've all been on the same page so far in this series, particularly compared to their opponents who seem much more coordinated. If you don't have that solid engage, those mistakes, those discombobulations are going to be that much more apparent, right? If we just have the one big go button, okay, strap the ball to Rel's head, Cinder in there, right? Like that's how you're going to get everybody on the same page. You have a very clear, very telegraphed, hey, we are going in, and I feel like Disguised have got to be coordinated if they want to keep this series going.
And by contrast, although we did talk about kind of a slight lack of engage on TL side, they still do have a lot of tools where they can coordinate and kind of stack some sort of CC potential with the Gnar, like you talked about, Azael, with the Azir shuffle. So if they are able to set up team fights well, they'll have the range advantage with the poke, and then they'll be able to set up engages.
Plus, you can also do the cool thing where Azir makes the wall of soldiers, Gnar slams everybody into the wall of soldiers. A little bit of wombo combo fun there if they get the timing down right. But we're on to the Rift for the 3rd time today. Runes on your screen, nothing really super surprising here. I am curious how well the jungle Aatrox is going to be able to do. Isaac, you were talking about how the tier list just kind of work. You go down them. A lot of the junglers have already been picked.
The next best AD jungler.
And that just happens to be Aatrox this time around. So mid lane as well. Quid, we saw him playing so aggressive in the previous game on the Ahri. Obviously, Azir is not going to be quite that level of aggro, but I still do want to see him continue to play in the faces of his opponents.
I will say it's kind of cool. Obviously, Cryer doesn't have a ton of competitive experience, but it is his first ever Aatrox game.
Are we just taking Lions? We're just getting absolutely pounded for free here, no?
You really do kind of have to know the limits, because on these drain tank style champions, you have to know how far you can go, right? You know, how much you can push the limit. So it takes a lot of experience as far as that is concerned, and then just getting really comfortable with the EQs, making sure you're placing those well, like all the timings on how to actually duel, and knowing your limits in the 5v5s.
Yeah, and we'll see if he can potentially pull it off, because I think talking about, again, the way this DSG roster was constructed, Kryra coming on, the fact that they continued scrimming with him even when Kizno was the one who was here and he was still playing from Canada. I think this is a really interesting angle for him to be able to pop off, considering how much they've relied on him, not even as a carry, but also as a facilitator.
Okay, tri-lane cam is on, and it's a fast path towards bottom
Bro.
lane for Yodo. Level 3 on this Pantheon, looking to maybe set up a dive. This is a massive wave that's about to crash into the turret. So Jet is still only level 1. The Pantheon jumps in, and there's your first blood over to Team Liquid.
Sage just missed 20 CS.
Absolute disaster for DSG
20 CS gone.
lane.
Thank you, Jose Deodo, for
3
giving
waves.
me my early jungle
4
game.
waves, actually.
We got it. Finally, really nice.
Like, what the fuck is
recognition
this?
with
Like,
this
like,
bot
what
lane
the
being
fuck is
as
this?
shoved
Look at
in
this.
As it was, we talked about the
Like,
pushing
look at
power,
this.
especially of the Lulu here. So really,
We're
really
down
nice
20 CS.
19 to 2.
We're down
Bottom
4
lane
waves.
to 2.
That's what I was gonna say. I kind of almost want to like see how it went so bad. Like, what was the trade that went that horrible? Was it just, you know, them going a little bit too far and getting slowed down and chased down, or kind of what happened? Because usually for those types of HP advantages to happen, it's like someone overextends.
Maybe even though Aatrox comes, you can one-shot it.
Barrier, okay?
He's on
No
speed.
heal.
What do you think? Yeah.
I'll go.
I can start tanking. I drop.
That
I
is-
drop.
Back up, back up.
Back up.
Yeah.
Good job.
I mean, that was easy, but Morgan, yeah, I mean, that dive just looks so easy, right? You know, to me, it's like, the interesting part of that is kind of how they got that low, and I was watching some of the other lanes more for the trading there when we were in the tri-lane cam, but, you know, Jan not even having to use Ghost to trade down and get a big trade or anything like that, that's rough. I mean, when you're going up against Aphelios Lulu, it never gets better. It's these champions
Yeah.
scale to infinity, so there's no like, all right, we'll just scale, guys.
Okay,
Yeah,
Kryra got
play
double
safe,
crab.
fellas. It's a problem down here in bottom lane, and the problems continue. Lions down to 200 HP. Jan chasing after him with the Gravitum. Core JJ making sure that his AD carry can make this pursuit go all the way underneath the turret. So much damage onto both of them. Disguised bottom laners both have to flash away and barely survive.
I mean, that is horrible. And now you have Infernum, so you're just going to be able to fast shove the wave and crash it. So you're going to be able to deny some of these minions here also. And that is just ghost traded for 2 flashes. So, And then when you have no flashes, it's not even like you can hope for the bailout of a gank, because this is Aatrox. Aatrox needs some setup. Aatrox can't just like run in and one-shot them, right? Like you need to have the rel to be able to set something up. So this is looking dire. I'm not going to lie. Dire already for DSG. Their bot lane is basically out of the game.
Plus, Jose Dioto's on Pantheon with a point-and-click stun. No flashes to get out of the range before he can make that happen. Guarantees that if he wants to show up again, they're going to have the tools to make a play and continue trying to just steamroll this game through bottom lane.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see, again, how well this TL bot lane is performing. We talk about the power of them and how good they've been in the past, and how good they've been in scrims. Everyone says they've just absolutely been crushing it. Here, I was wondering if Jose was going to go for something here. With Calmy pushed up.
It's easy spotted on the ward to realize, you know what, just going to back it up. Not really much anything there.
Yeah, Quid also not quite level 6 here on the Azir. Usually you'll see them go in and try to immediately ult the Orianna as soon as they get the chance. Lions and Sajed back down in the bottom lane yet again, and it's just another stacked up wave that Yon will be able to farm all of, will not miss any of that CS. As Calmy's now in some danger, flash stun coming out from Jose Dioto, needs a little bit more damage to secure the kill. Comet Spear, nope, didn't end up actually throwing it.
Did he screw up his spear?
Pretty nice. He just used the Aegis Assault for the little burst of move speed, gets in close, flash, stun, and it is just a trade of flashes at the end of the day. But now Quid has flash, so you could look for a repeat gank, especially when Jose gets 6, where it's easy to set that up for the Azir, sweep him back in with your flash, have the Pantheon all come in.
Yeah, the thing is about hitting level 6 for Jose, though, because he has been spam ganking so much, he is behind Kryra in terms of the pacing, in terms of the EXP.
Top, mid, and jungle are fine. I mean, our bot lane
unfortunately, it is a
just needs to AFK for the next 20 minutes.
On or ever. But you get it out of the way, you grab an objective,
so we have to
which
count
is
on top,
honestly
mid,
a relief
and jungle.
Considering how bad bottom lane has been going so far, to be able to take the first
I don't know what is happening.
You're wiping your,
I don't know if this is a draft diff,
it's
a bot lane diff, but our bot lane has been a constant weak
TL,
point for us.
especially when this bot lane has had so much pressure on this bot side as we see them shoving another wave towards that turret. Was it you, Flowers, who said that Chemdrake is so stinky, that's why no one wants to take it?
That sounds like something I would say. That sounds like some logic behind it, as Team Liquid pushing up in the bottom lane here yet again. Morgan goes Mega Gnar topside, forcing the flash out of castle in response. So now both top laners without their flashes, or JJ putting the deep ward here next to the enemy Gromp as the big wave crashes into the turret. Sajed and Lions at least not going to get dove on this one, so Sajed should be able to pick up most of this farm, but the pressure just remains so constant. It's still 55 to 35 in the bottom lane CS.
Yeah, and don't allow bot lane being cooked to distract you from the fact that top lane is also looking kind of cooked. he was down 20 CS at one point. He did collect the wave. He's going to be pushing back to Morgan, but Castle had the ability to counterpick, had his flash force there in the 1v1. And it's just looking rough. I mean, they can't even walk up to the tower, really. Jose's coming, and if Sajed tries to enter, he's going to die.
Yep, looks like Kryra will at least make his way in here as well. Level 7 on the Aatrox, so he is pretty strong. Goes forward, looks for the Darkened Blade. Jose Dioto is going to be your target, but Lions dies first, and Jose just throws up the shield. Now the smite to Kryra as he tries to get his way. The World Ender is used, but no, Yon's got the chase. The Crescendum is so powerful in these situations. Once you have all those chakrams stacked up, there's nothing the enemy can do about it. And Team Liquid, can they even get Sajed here? Probably not, but man, it's just another point of pain here in the bot lane.
Yeah, Sajed is not having a good time as we see the ult coming out of Quid.
Ooh, nice, and the 2 turret shots as well as Calmy tries to get away. One more hit will take him down, but Calmy survives for now, has about 20 HP remaining, is using the potion, trying to heal up, wants to see if maybe he can get away on this.
Oh, he gets that.
And Calmy calls it quits in the enemy jungle, manages just barely to get home.
Calmy escapes, but still a massive win for TL, going immediately from that bot side play into Quid pushing up. As we see, Core JJ has just been such a problem, and I was a little concerned for TL with the level lead that Kryra has, but Lions immediately gets stunned up and dropped as he goes in. Kryra gets polymorphed, and all the chakrams coming out of Yon just kill off Kryra.
Yeah, and I mean, while you do have a level lead there for Kryra, the problem is Lions is less than half HP, has to use the heal before he even goes in, and Sajed was level 4 to level 6 on the Aphelios, so it's like, there's just no damage behind that engage. I don't blame them for going for it because it was looking completely doomed. If you can't walk up to your tower at this point of the game, you just can't play the game. And unfortunately, that's the situation that they are in, now down about 1K. The buy for Sajed is looking rough, and you know, it is going to be a really tough game to be able to kind of claw back. It's feeling very similar to game 2 to me.
DSG are trying to maintain a little bit of control around this bottom side river if they can. They secure another scuttle. Kryra tries to steal away some camps there, looking at the enemy chickens. Sajed, again, just forced back. The Lucian having to run away from Lulu because Lulu is just straight up stronger is not good tidings.
No. He did hit level 6 now.
Hey, Quid manages to just slide away here from Kryra, and this is kind of what you were talking about earlier, right, Azale? With the Aatrox, he needs setup. It's hard for him to just walk into the lane and try to make something happen.
Yeah, and Jose might have been
down 2.5k gold by minute 10. That's insane.
With this Pantheon, I really, really love how he's approached playing this out with his lanes, even with that kind of level lead sacrifice that he was making.
And I think it's just one of these situations where you have to recognize your role in the game, right? You have Aphelios, Azir, Lulu. Like, you have a lot of scaling, a lot of damage. Your job on the Pantheon is to enable them, to set them up for success. So if you have to drop farm to be able to put them in a better situation, that is worth doing. Jose is behind them once again, and Aatrox is not here, so...
Yeah, there's the wild growth. Lions is locked up. He's out of there. Jose Diodo on a killing spree, and Yon has the Infernum yet again to fast shove the waves. Sajed's trying to cull the wave down just to keep himself alive, but the culling can only take out the front line of the minions. Now Jose and Core can just walk on up. It's that easy. Another kill over to Jose Diodo.
This is absolute decimation coming out of TL on this bot side of the map. Because I thought Quid might be looking for another potential ult there. Doesn't go for it. Takes a lot of damage.
Calmy's like, don't worry, guys, I'm up 6 CS. How are your lanes going?
Just that nightmare situation where you feel like your lane's going well, you press tab. You really wish you didn't press tab. Now we've got the ulti coming in the mid lane from Jose Diodo. Flashes towards Calmy, goes for the stun. Needs a little bit more damage to secure the kill. Won't quite find it here just yet. Comet Spear collides, but doesn't have the damage.
Nicely done there by Lions. Good roam, covers his mid laner, so doesn't have to use the flash. And Kryra gonna get pushed back. I mean, Quid is low. They are kind of hanging around, but I just don't think that DSG have the ability to actually get access to him. So it will just be the pushed wave. And you can see Yon already has the Storm Razor, so the move speed gonna be ramping up quite a bit now too.
Yeah, both mid laners chunked, but importantly, Quid has his teleport available, and Calmy does not because he had to use it earlier to get away when he was behind enemy lines. So this should be some pretty easy setup around the Drake for TL if that's what they want to go for. DSG is trying to burn it down fast before that can happen, but Quid has already made his way back into the mid lane, and Kryra and the rest of DSG are going to have to seriously consider how badly they want this Drake. Kryra's still hanging around, but here goes Jose Diodo immediately starting up the fight. He's taking a ton of damage. Shield keeps him alive.
Unless
goes up to DSG and Lions. Yon goes forward, but it's a double kill for Lions. It's down to 50 HP. Heal up here on the Aphelios. Core JJ right next to him wants to try to
my!
Nice use of the wild growth.
Oh my God! Okay, okay, Lions. Okay. 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 This is playable. This is playable. This is playable. This is playable. This is playable.
Great job there by DSG being able to find something off the back of this Pagoda moment. We can watch it one more time.
This is playable.
It felt like Yon and Cora were a little bit disjointed from where Jose was. Jose is very far up. All 4 members from DSG are hitting him the whole time, and Yon didn't feel comfortable to move up because Lions still had his ult. He gets flashed on there. Then you're thinking, all right, well, maybe Yon can take over now, but Quid on the side dies.
Double kill on my Rel. Honestly, it was necessary. This fight was so close, it doesn't matter who gets the kill.
I feel like they played it really well.
Like, Rel getting the kill, I think, was necessary. I think trying to give kills in this scenario would have been really bad. I do not mind. That was
pretty out of
Lions had a good engage.
Very
good engage. He got double stunned
really
there.
Split fight,
For sure worth it.
Like, not only was Yon not able to get in, but Quid was off on the side, a bit separated from his team as well. And now we'll see what they're able to do with it. But most importantly, I mean, they do secure. Oh no, the Drake wasn't taken. Never mind.
Well,
I'm crazy.
Sajed is no longer a minion at the very least. Like, he has an item.
He has Kraken Slayer.
He's been upgraded. So at least your AD carry is online. It's still a bad spot, but we'll see.
Yeah, Quid going in for the Emperor's Divide. Looks for Call Me here. Takes him down to about half HP.
Oh!
You can see Jose Dioto making
Is this
his way
playable?
through.
It's playable.
DSG,
This might be playable.
gonna get another one.
We might get drag off this. This might be playable.
DSG punishing.
Nicely done by Call Me. He just kind of kited it out. He is actually at a really strong point now. He has the tier 3 boots. He has his Ludens completed off the back of that last fight. So he has now the biggest individual lead of the game. He's actually more ahead than Jan is over Sajed.
Now Core JJ getting caught here.
This
too.
might be playable. This might be playable.
Jose jumps into the back, wants to find the kill onto Sajed, but the Pantheon alone does not have a ton
This
of
might be
damage.
playable.
Double kill to Sajed.
This might be
Team
playable.
Liquid has thrown the lead.
And now Sajed is up in gold after that, which is a lot of really weird mistakes coming out of TL and DSG being able to punish, getting their carries, most importantly Sajed, back in the game.
As a fan of both, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, I really love some Kung Fu movies, and I appreciate TL reenacting the bad villains in those, walking in one at a time
to fight the
the hero.
to get their butt kicked.
Exactly. Just, Core go first. He'll see what's up. All right.
Good engage, Lions.
Now,
Good fucking
it's Jose's
engage.
turn. What can Jose do against our hero?
Okay.
And it's looking like not much, unfortunately, for him, as TL, some pretty big mistakes, honestly. Quid dies for free mid, and then you have multiple deaths bot.
He can't find me. He can't find me.
He
Yeah,
was right,
man.
He can't.
True.
Yeah, this was a 3,000 gold lead for Team Liquid earlier. It is now a 1,000 gold lead for Disguised. An absolutely
Yeah, I think Lions is good on
massive
counter
throw. And
engages.
it's just crazy.
I'm not sold on
By the
his
way, and you're up 83 gold.
engages
Like,
just
hey
yet.
guys, I'm up 40 CS on my
But
enemy
that
bot
counter
lane in 15
engage was
minutes.
pretty
Oh,
good.
you're ahead on gold? Well, no.
Wow. Okay. So DSG, we talked earlier back in like
His
the
rail's
first couple
pretty
of
good,
games
though,
about
like,
how
he
Team
doesn't
Liquid
really miss
was
his
getting more
stunts
from
on
their
this.
punishes, but in this third game, that is absolutely not the case. DSG has done a great job getting back into this game. They've got both of the early Drakes here so far. We'll see if they can
Sajed
continue
with a
finding
goal lead
more
after
plays.
down 50
Core JJ
CS.
Jan could be in a little bit of
He
danger
was
here,
down
but
50
isn't close
CS
enough to
at
catch
minute
anybody.
5.
Jan has
I
the
don't
ghost to
even
give
know if
himself
it's
enough
possible
distance
to have that
to stay
much
safe here
minions.
on the Aphelios. I think Sajed might just get to his second item first. Call Me gets caught though. Jose Dioto and Quid looking to kill off
Okay,
Orion.
okay, Lions,
Get there.
protect
Lions
your
comes in with the
carry.
shield, keeps Call Me protected.
Oh! Oh! Yo!
Beautiful from Disguise.
You've been hiding Rel from us? You've been showing us your board when you had this Rel?
Triple kill over to Cryra's Aatrox.
And now this Aatrox is going to be a massive problem.
I don't
We see him
understand.
going
Lion.
after Jan a little
Lions,
bit.
you're
Orc is able to
confusing
clean
me.
up this tier 1,
You just made
turret
that
on
play
the
on
bot
Rel,
side,
and
but
you've been
these fights are
subjecting
all
us to
now
your
DSG,
board?
And a lot of it is the little Lions redemption arc.
Call Me is
on
just
this Rel,
having
the
such a
pick
good
that they
game. Like,
saved
he's
as the
absorbing so
final
much
pick
pressure.
to round
Like,
out
he's
this
getting stunned,
composition.
he's getting
Jose
ulted, he's
Quid
getting
think
everything,
they're
and he's
going
just
to be
living
able to
every
get onto
time.
Call Me. He is
And
the
he plays on the
strongest
edge here.
point on this, but then here we go.
That's-
Lions
look at that-
win
look at that calm.
immediately.
Look at
Great
that.
Rel engage.
You know what I don't get?
Huge
there's
Rel.
a ward. They were on a
My
ward the
coach
whole
has
time.
no
I thought-
emotion, by the
My initial
way.
assumption was,
I
they
think
must have thought that the
we might
Oriana
need,
and the
like,
Rel backed off.
To
They
break
were on
down
the
those
ward.
walls
This is
he's
the
putting up.
ward. They saw him the whole time.
This Team Liquid decision making in Game 3 is feeling like some solo queue stuff, man. Well, there's a guy with a different colored health bar on my screen. I should probably click him. Like, I don't feel like there's a greater plan here. It's just completely crazy. TL are going to start up the Rift Herald now, see if they can acquire the additional power to maybe regain control over the game through this objective. And DSG is not going to contest for it. Instead, just pushing out mid, pushing out bot. Herald goes over to TL.
The most deadly Rel engage is the scene one.
Scene one,
As we see DSG continuing to kind of bully Morgan out of this
I
bot
think
side,
Cryra
trying to get some
plays
damage
really
further
well when he's
onto
ahead,
this
because he
tier one.
likes to bully.
But yeah,
He
I
likes
mean,
to invade, he
now
likes to
DSG are in a really,
be
really good spot. We'll
annoying,
see
right?
if TL are able to do
But
anything.
I think his
with
play
this
style
Rift
definitely
Herald.
suffers
They
a
still
little bit
do
when
have this
he's behind.
Aphelios who will be a problem. So now it's all about, okay, regroup, chill out, like Jan said, take it slow, you know, in game 1, and try to protect him, because now you have Cryra at 4-2-2. This Aatrox is going to be massive coming into team fights. Lions has been on point with these rel engages, and Call Me has a really great ball delivery system from that.
And I think TL are pretty lucky that Morgan is having such a stellar
Wait,
1v1, right?
Morgan's
Because
up
he got
1.6k?
and he's up 1.5K.
Nothing happened
and
top,
they're
he's up
down as a team 1.6K.
1.6K? How?
Even they'd be down 3K, right? And if he was losing
God
to the
damn.
counterpick, which is kind of what your expectation is, they
We
could
even
be completely out of
counterpicked
the
this
game,
Gnar,
so credit
no?
to him. But it is kind of this redemption story that you're talking about for Lions, and we had kind of touched on it. You know how he had been performing, you know, before the Sentinel series versus kind of in the Sentinel series. You know, stats don't always tell this whole story with Sentinels.
It's
or with the
Lions
Sentinel
and
series
cooler
with supports in
Lions.
general. But you know, he definitely was not on form, and it's nice to see him having a good game on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we see TL dropping the Rift Herald. They have been able to take down this entire outer ring of turrets using the Gnar and then the Rift Herald in mid. So that's at least solid for them. And again, we'll be looking to see what they want to do with their next team fight, because if they give that Drake up, DSG will be on Soul Point.
All right, DSG, let's see if you can maintain that control. And for TL, I want to see them have some coordination. It has just felt completely haphazard these previous few fights that they've taken. People jumping in alone, going in after different targets. The timing feels off. So Jed going to walk up here in mid lane. Just quick Ardent Blaze onto Yon, walks back away. Just a nice quiet distraction while they begin the Drake down here. TP's coming in. Morgan wants to be a part of this fight. This could be the big X factor here for Team Liquid, but Morgan's the only one going in at first. Narbar mostly charged. Kryra's already secured the Drake.
Get out, get out. He has
DSG
Mega,
just
he has
gonna
Mega. We
walk
just
away.
leave.
And if they're able to
If he
walk
has
away,
Mega,
like,
we
even
leave.
leading the team
Kryra,
from
don't you
Castle,
get
that is
caught
a
in the
huge
jungle
win.
again.
Yon is trying to kind of section them off, see if he can find anything.
Nice.
Okay, Yon
Holy.
does hit him there
I
with
feel
the
like
light
there was a
vigil, but
world where
blast
we
cone on
mess
the
up,
wall,
where you
they're
mess
safe.
up that blast
And the
cone.
big thing was, it looked like TL took too long to set up that play, right? Because you saw Morgan waiting in base. It was a matter of not if he was going to TP, but when and what kind of flank they were looking for to try to get this Gnar involved, time it around the Gnar bar, and they just weren't able to do it. DSG immediately go in, pick up that Drake, and now they're on Soul Point, Infernal Soul too.
They're looking really, really strong. And I mean, I understand why TL thought, hey, maybe we can actually look for this, because Morgan just hit 2 items, Jose's already in 2 items, IE just got completed for Yon. But their mid lane is kind of out of the game as well, which is really, really difficult. You already have the 2 completed items, Shadowflame as well as the Ludens on one side here. And then you look over at the other, and you have the Oblivion Orb, like some little pieces at the end, but basically it's just Nashers and some trash, right? Like,
Right.
It's Quid is having a rough one in this game.
And meanwhile, across the aisle, Call Me is not playing vegetarian Orianna. This dude is out here just eating burger after burger. Shadow Flame plus Luden's Echo, those shockwaves are just going to eradicate whoever they hit.
Yep, and as we see them kind of setting up.
Oh, so Jed trying to get away from this one. That's a big catch for TL. Jose Diodo makes it happen, but what can
There's
they
no
get
way they do Baron
afterwards?
off this. They'll lose the game.
It would be risky to start up the Baron here. I mean, it's only 22 minutes into the game, but TL, I think, at the very least, want to bait it. They want to try to clear
they're
out
baiting
vision.
it? No.
They haven't actually swept out that one ward.
No
in
way
the
we
pit,
give this
though,
for
so
free,
DSG
right?
well aware of
I mean,
what's
we
going
lost
on.
our AD, but this is...
That big debuff could mean problems if Call Me can get him behind them. He's behind.
Okay, Call Me looking for it, has to flash away to try to escape. Morgan now going to be your target. DSG trying to go after the Gnar. Kryra stuck in the middle of
Oh
everybody.
my
The
God,
burst is
Kryra just
plenty
got blown
enough,
the fuck
and
up.
DSG lose their jungler. Now they've got a scatter. Morgan's still alive. Nice engage coming out from Lions, but there is no follow.
We don't have damage, Lions.
But they don't have the damage to do it. Castle
Why
back
are we
in,
jumping
but
in and not
Diodo
out?
gets the
Why are
kill
we
on the
jumping in
Jax.
and not out?
DSG have got to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, it just
No,
felt like
that
Call Me got a
was
little bit
not
too
time
clever
for
there.
the
He was trying to come in from the other
engage,
angle. He lost his
dude.
flash early, and then he couldn't really connect with the rest of the team. And even though there's this great re-engage from Lions, it just didn't really amount to anything.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't really
Like,
follow
the
up with
engage
raw
is good,
damage,
it's-
as we
but it's
see
like-
this again, where
It's good because
Call
they're
Me
not
is separated
scared.
from the fight.
They're not
Kryra
scared.
comes in.
You don't have anyone who
Morgan
can do
is actually
damage.
able to get a really nice stun against the wall to take out Kryra there.
Right?
Now, so watch Call Me's Shockwave here. So obviously he's super strong. We talked about that. He has the rank 2 Shockwave. They go for the re-engage. He gets the ball in on Lions. It only connects on the Gnar. So not able to really hit much of anything there.
It's
And
fine, it's
I just
fine.
feel like
As-
if he was on the same side of the
as
fight
long as-
with the Rel, it's a completely different game, right? You're very likely to be able to get a multi-man Shockwave. And unfortunately for
Like,
him,
our
couldn't
team
find it.
fight always consists of
TL
splits.
back in the lead now, plus 2,000 gold.
Always
Morgan
consists
chasing
of
after
splits.
Lions. Team Liquid
It's
invading
never
the enemy
just,
jungle,
here's a
seeing if they can
5v5
set up
where
any
2
picks
players
just
are
like
on the
they've
same
done
side. It's
in the
always a
previous
split.
2 games. Less than 2 minutes on the clock until that Dragon Soul will spawn for Disguise. That one is going to be absolutely massive for TL to contest. But TL's
we have
not willing to
TP?
wait. They want to contest Baron right now. Still 90 seconds until that Drake spawns. DSG
Cryo,
is in the
cryo,
neighborhood.
cryo, cryo, cryo.
We're going to see if they can take the fight. Infernal
Back it
chain
up, back
spawn
it up,
to
back it up,
Morgan,
back it up,
but he
back it
walks
up.
out of the side.
Just get him
DSG
off. We
still
get
on
him
the
off. We get him
approach.
off. We don't need more.
See Castle looking for the flank as
We
Quid
do not need more. We
has
do
to
not need
dash
more.
away from Sajed.
Dragon Soul in
Turret
1 minute.
Destroyed in the meantime over there in the mid lane, and we're just chilling. Okay, no fight.
Yeah, no fight. Jose now has opened up a really big gold lead for himself, and even off that early fight, Kara got a lot of kills, completed his second item, but Jose has been stalwart throughout this game, has been great really the whole way through, and now completes the GA, so he is super, super strong. Quid is just going for a defensive build. He's just going to go for the Seekers because I think he realizes the game's not about him at all at this point, which is going to make it more difficult for Call Me. You know, you can react to that shockwave, throw down the stasis. It's just about, can TL keep Yon safe and keep him hitting? Because I think if they can, they're going to be set up for success.
Yeah, and that's where I'm also still going to be looking at Jose, especially with this GA locked in for him on the next fight. And they did pull that TP off of the Jax, right? So it's going to take him much longer time to walk up to this as they return
It's
to the Baron.
7K, guys.
Got the Chakrams here
It's
too.
7K,
Look at how many of them he has
guys.
stacked up.
Guys.
DSG still trying to approach. The Baron is already gone.
Guys.
Team Liquid claim the objective.
Why
Yon still
did
looking for
Ori
an
TP
opportunity
to
to
the
put those
What?
Chakrams to good work. DSG
Okay, hang on. If we get Soul off this, hang on. If we get Soul off this, it's fine.
Yeah, they can go for the Dragon, and this could be Soul, so that's actually not a good
Please
trade
do
for
it
TL
fast.
if they do end up losing
Honestly-
this, and it looks like they are likely to. Giannis is just
Wait,
gonna
wait,
go
this is
top
good,
side,
this
so
is
they
good.
Get the Baron.
This
As
is
long
good.
as DSG
We
can actually
forced them
hold out
to
through
back.
this Baron buff, they're going to be really
Yo, guys,
happy.
help him! Please
and
help
again, It
him!
was just a weird
Please
fight
help
because
him!
Call Me is not there is stats on the Baron. There is a little bit of a gold injection on the Baron, but like, I don't think they should be able to end the game with the Baron by any means. And now you have Infernal Soul on this super fed Orianna. If that Shockwave combo hits, you could be cooked.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt. Seeker's Arm Guard, we already mentioned it being available for the Azir, but the Orianna also having that defensive tool. So Call Me can hopefully feel safer positioning and posturing aggressively so that he can find high value on these shockwaves, combo them there with Lions so they can get that huge wombo combo that really will make their team fight sing.
Yeah, and now the question is going to be, okay, how well can TL kind of set the map in their favor with this Baron buff, right? Try to push out side waves. We've seen the Gnar in that bot lane kind of constantly pushing up that wave. Lions is going to get spotted out here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lions
that's
looking
fine, that's
for
fine, that's
Quid,
fine.
who
Not
immediately
big deal,
just
not big
shuffles
deal.
him
Oh,
back
man, we got
over the
chunked.
wall. The Azir still doing a
We
solid
got
amount of
chunked pretty
damage.
hard.
TL gonna group back up
Whoa, whoa,
here.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Leon ulti
This is
diving
not okay,
way
right?
back lines here, trying to finish off Lions and Kryra. Lions in some serious danger. Does have to
Well,
use
man,
the
we're
crash
getting
down
dog
defensively.
walked with
Team
the Soul
Liquid
right
putting
now.
the pedal to the metal here with their Baron. They've still got 60 seconds left on this, and they're using it
Wait,
to go
who?
down mid.
And initially, I thought Jose was going to go in way too deep, but the follow-up from Morgan was really good. Hit the Gnar bar at the exact right time. Kind of makes DSG have to scatter so they can brute force this mid-tier 2. Hopefully link up now with Quid, who's been pushing up this bot wave, and try to make a play on this bot side tier 2.
Yeah, they want to at least get this bot side tier 2. There's 37 seconds left on that.
Oh,
Baron.
hang on.
We could get caught by Shockwave.
Nice shockwave there, but can Quid escape? DSG trying to chase after the enemy mid laner. They hit the Darkened Blade.
Oh, he
Uses
dead.
the
He
Seeker's
dead.
Arm Guard,
He
but
dead.
does not escape. Call Me gets the kill, and Disguised get the pick.
Nicely done. Disguise getting another pick there. So it is just the 3.4k gold lead at the end of the day with that Baron buff. They're not going to get anything more, but again, you know, around 6,000-ish gold of stats, you know, with that soul, that is essentially what that is valued at. Of course, it is different for every team comp. It depends on how easily you can apply, you know, this soul buff, how easily you can apply the damage. But it is going to be quite powerful. And, you know, DSG are not in a bad spot. So TL didn't really get enough with that Baron for it to be worthwhile.
Yeah, they weren't able to get kind of that tier 2 bot that they were prepping for. They did knock down the tier 2 in mid, but you know, all inhib turrets and 2 tier 2s actually are still standing. They pretty much just only added that mid tier 2 because they'd already had the outer ringer of turrets down for a while.
I will say though, Castle has had basically 0 effect on this entire game. Like he is scaling, you know, he is getting levels, but he's not seeming to really get a lot of gold. Hasn't been able to catch up at all. He's down almost 3K individually. Like that is basically the entire lead is just Morgan. So, you know, if DSG can fight where Morgan and Castle are in a side lane, that is a great fight for you. So to me, your job becomes when you're getting slammed in a side lane like this, you just try to draw that guy to you, and you're just running at towers, trying to force them to respond, because if I'm not there and you're not there, it's way better for my team when I'm behind.
Right, the 4v4 for Disguised is very, very scary looking. Quid still very far behind the pace of the game himself here on the Azir, but Morgan with the 3 fully completed items on the Gnar is absolutely massive. See if he face checks into the brush here. Does take a quick burst of damage, but he's just about got the Gnar bar charged, so he continues just running straight at them, and DSG back away as Castle makes his way back out onto the map. He's on the flank here with a blast cone, but he does need to be a little bit mindful. Jose hits him with a very small amount of poke. Sun Disc will be destroyed here in the mid lane.
Is this a fight?
TL have lost Morgan's Mega Gnar for now. DSG might
oh my god.
but it's a ton of burst on the Call Me. He's already
Calmy's dead already? The fight just, wow, why so focused? We're chasing 5 different targets!
Now Kryra is down, Lions will follow. TL just killed 4.
TL were constantly trying to look for these angles on to Call Me.
GGs.
Finally get one there.
We gotta
love
fix
how
this.
They've been playing
We have
around
so much
Morgan
to fix.
Specifically,
They're gonna try to
always
end.
looking
We
for these
have
flanks,
so
and
much
yeah,
to
now
fix.
they might be pushing for the end.
Yeah, the death timers are long. It's 20 seconds until anybody else is back up. It's only Sajed to try to defend
Bro,
this.
that, I don't,
Lucian, who
well,
had
I
such
mean,
a struggle
Call Me
early
instantly got
game,
blown up.
will not be able to hold the line. Team Liquid,
GGs.
it was a messy game number 3, but they make their way onto the Nexus turrets. They will clean sweep Disguised, and they will move forward, continuing their march towards first stand.
A little blip on the.
I think DSG did well
Game
for
two,
team
super
people